You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. And be sure to smash that like button. We've been kind of making our way through this series talking to former Tiger greats about their current position group. And one we haven't checked off yet is the running back position. A few better to talk to than former Tiger great Justin Vincent, now, of course, with the Tiger Athletic Foundation. JV's always good enough to give us a couple of minutes. How are you, man?
I'm doing great.
Hey, man, last year the conversation about LSU and the running backs when they had 8 was, man, they got too many. Now you got 4. Is that enough?
Oh, 100%. I think it's enough. I mean, LSU through the tail of time, they've done that in the past. You know, you can go back to when LeBrandon Tofield, Dominic Davis, Sharon and Joe, and then go to me, Allie, Joe, and Sharon. And then you slide in Barrington Edwards, then he ends up leaving, then you bring in Keelan Charles, and so then Jacob moves over to running back from fullback. So there's always room for 4. I think 8 is a lot.
Yeah. eight was challenging to figure out how you're going to make that work. I know you know these guys, the 4 that they have, and I'd like to ask you maybe a thought on each of them. And one thing that's pretty clear, JV, is Brian Kelly has said from the first time he talked to us in spring, they know what they got in Josh Williams, and they just got to get him to Saturdays because they're going to use him. Is Josh Williams capable of being a lead back in the SEC? I guess what I mean, like, is can he shoulder 200 carries this year if that's what they ask him to do?
100%. I think Josh is more than capable. He showed such resiliency. Coming in as a preferred walk-on, earning a scholarship spot, leading the Tigers in rushing last year. Does a heck of a job in the pass pro because you can get anybody to play running back. But when it comes to catching the ball and learning, who to call out the mic, who you got first spot declared, to blocking any secondary defender, he does it all. So I think what he brings to the table, people may be kind of skeptical on his speed, but I can live with the 20 to 30-yard runs, and we'll hope for the 60 and 70 ones.
It's interesting, too, JV, because you're right. You know what you get with Josh Williams. He's going to protect the football. He's going to run with aggression between the tackles. He can catch the ball. He can block. He does all the things that you said. And then you look at, like, the shiny new toy in Kaleb Jackson, who so very clearly that, like, even an idiot like me can look at him and go, okay, that just looks different than most dudes that roll through here. Like, how do you balance the certainty of Josh Williams and the upside of a guy like Kaleb Jackson?
Well, I mean, somebody like that, he's got to get his touches. You're going to find a way to get it to him, and you're going to get it to him early, because I think Kaleb is a guy, and the running back has always been a position where you got to give him the ball. Like, you got to get you can't just get in there and be a decoy. You got to get hit. They got to get comfortable with seeing, what they're seeing, and not, not making up stuff as they go. So I think getting him active early, whether it's the second series or whether it's a long first series or what it is, give Josh a spell, he has to get some touches. But I think once you get that machine oiled up, we'll see the Kaleb Jackson that everybody hopes to see.
Do you envision a certain role for John Emery this year?
Yeah, I see John as somebody who delivered for us when we needed him to last year. And hopefully, coming off this ACL tear, he looked good. I went out to practice a little bit this morning, but it's a little too warm for my liking. I didn't get a chance to see too much. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see too much, but I've heard good stuff. I talk to Coach Frank periodically, and, he likes what he's seeing. He's kind of going in the right direction as far as rehab and trusting his leg, and that's somebody else that you can also give an opportunity to as well.
Yeah, it's different when you have to be out there and when you're choosing to be out there. When you're playing,
no question.
You got to be out there. But yeah, no. Justin Vincent is our guest now at the Tiger Athletic Foundation. By the way, fill everybody in. I know there's been a lot of exciting stuff going on with TAF and obviously with Bayou Traditions as well. What's the latest there, man? Give us an update.
Yeah, so obviously we are housing some things for the collective. People can donate to TAF and get through the collective, and get points, priority points that's directed towards, purchasing tickets and parking and whatnot. it gives some incentive because there's a lot of people who are kind of on the fence with NIL. It's kind of that this is that low hanging fruit that you can give and get something in return. So we've seen an uptick on some things on our end, and hopefully it'll continue in that direction because it can't do anything but help us.
Yeah. Tiger Athletic Foundation, of course, you can go to TAF. LSUTAF.org is the website, LSUTAF.org if you want to learn more. The one guy I didn't mention is the freshman that's coming in. And, JV, look, you're a guy that we all know had the amazing freshman season. Like, you had a lot thrown upon your shoulders early, and you ended up having a freshman All-America season, helping pace LSU to a national championship. Like, I don't know that that's in the cards for Caden Durham, but who's to say it's not, because you don't know what circumstances could arise. So if you're advising a young guy like that who's that talented but is running fourth right now, what do you tell him about staying ready?
Be patient, man. One thing I've learned, throughout my football career, especially when I got to LSU, you're not really a backup. You're a starter in waiting. So prepare like it. Go about your business like it. Pay attention to detail. So then when you do get your opportunity, you can capitalize on your opportunity because they may few and far in between, and you want to get out there and not know what you're doing. They can't trust you. So stay in the playbook, stay focused, try to go make a name for yourself on special teams or whatever it may be, just so you can be involved. But just stay ready. You're never a backup. You're just a starter in waiting.
Caden Durham, of course, a lot of people excited whenever his day does in fact come. JV, obviously the single biggest question, this is probably where we should have led, but instead we'll finish with it. But you're replacing an 1,100-yard rusher at quarterback, which is just absurd to think. How do you replace Jaden Daniels' production?
To be honest with you, you don't. You got a Heisman Trophy winner. You don't replace Heisman Trophy winners. Fortunately for us, we had an opportunity to replace one, but that's like an anomaly. That doesn't really happen, right? But on a regular basis, hopefully these guys can combine themselves and kind of supplement some of those things. But when you got a quarterback who's throwing the way he's throwing the touchdowns, and he's spreading the ball around, everybody's getting some love, and then it's gone, and they're not going to get that out of Nuss. I'm sorry to bust your bubble. Nuss can run, but he's not Jaden. You know what I mean? Yeah,
man.
So hopefully, they can distribute the ball well enough and run the ball well enough with that kind of that senior-led and offensive line, and get some pressure off his back, and he can throw the ball down the field.
Yeah, I sat with Nuss at SEC Media Days, and he talked about being fortunate to learn from Jaden Daniels. I said, did he teach you how to run for 1,100 yards? He just busted out laughing. I mean, it's something we may never see again from the quarterback position here at LSU. But last thing, since you brought up the offensive line, when you have a unit that's that veteran and is that good, what is it like for this running back room, knowing they're running behind that line? Like, I mean, you got to run behind some phenomenal All-America caliber players. When you have that in front of you, what's it like as a running back?
It's a dream come true. I mean, that's something that, every running back, every quarterback, would dream of, especially at a college situation. You got some guys, whether they're seniors or not, that have a lot of snaps, a lot of starts behind their belt, have seen, majority of the SEC plays, have gone against guys and been victorious. It gives you confidence to run the ball with ability and know that they're going to do what they're supposed to do. And hopefully you make the correct reads and do the things you're supposed to do so you can hit your head on the goalpost.
Former Tiger great Justin Vincent. You can be in Vegas, I'm sure, yeah?
You already know.
All right, man. We'll have to find you. We'll smoke a stick out there, something like that, man. Got to connect.
I'm all for it, man. Just let me know.
I'll be there, man. We'll look forward to seeing you out in Vegas, man. All the best. Safe travels.
You too. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.